Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to discuss the poem The Laburnum Top, which is penned by Ted Hughes. It is a very powerful poem which symbolizes the hardships of life. Let us find out details about the writer before we move into the explanation. Ted Hughes. His full name was Edward James Ted Hughes. He was born on 17th August 1913 and he died on 28th October 1998. He was an English poet, he was translator and children's writer. He was appointed as a poet laureate. In the year 1994, new selected poems was published. Then Tale from Ovid, which was very famous. Both the collections were very famous. Next work we found was Birthday Letters, was the winner of the 1998 Forward Poetry Prize for Best Collection, the 1998 T.S. Eliot Prize, and the 1999 British Book of the Year Award. Next collection was Collected Poems, and recent work of Ted Hughes was a Ted Hughes bestiary, and it was poem collection. Ted Hughes writes about nature. His poetry takes us to the forest, birds, animals, and to children. Let's discuss about the poetry The Laburnum Top. In the poem, we find the word laburnum. Laburnum, okay, this means the golden chain tree. Okay, laburnum tree is also called golden chain tree, a commonly found tree with golden flowers that hang in bunches. Even you must have seen in your locality. Okay, laburnum top, it means the top part of the tree, laburnum, okay, or golden chain tree's topmost portion. Next is goldfinch. Okay, it is a small bird with yellow colored body. It is male species which has black marks across the face, on the wings and tail. Here is the picture of goldfinch and the laburnum tree. Let's move ahead. There are other words which are very important to understand before we discuss the poetry. Twitch. Twitch means it's a small, often involuntary movement of a body part. Chirrup. Chirrup means it is an onomatopoeic word capturing the sound made by bird. Okay, the word has come from onomatopoeia. Next is startlement. It means amazement, a sudden unexpected action which causes surprise. Next is sleek. It means smooth. In the context of the poem, it could imply a quick movement without much disruption. Okay. Next important poem is abrupt. It means sudden and unexpected. Next is chittering. It is also onomatopoeic word which captures sound of the bird. Tremor. It means to shiver or shake. Trillings. It is also onomatopoeic word. Okay. It means singing repeatedly. In the context of the poem, it means capturing sound of the bird. Next important word is, difficult word is strokes. It means feed family. Okay, goldfinch in the poetry feeds its family, which is mentioned by strokes, providing fuel or nutrition that is required for machine. Here machine is the family of bird, okay, which needs energy. Next, flirts. In the context of the poem, move abruptly and jerkily with light steps. Airy. Airy means strange, in a frightening or mysterious way. Last three words are infinite. It means in the poetry, it means the sky. Okay. Launches. In the context of the poem, it means to fly. And subsides, returns or reduces in intensity. Okay, now we are done with important words or difficult words. Let's move ahead towards the explanation of the poetry. The poem. The laburnum top is silent, quiet, still. In the afternoon, yellow September sunlight. A few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. Students, the poetry is about a mutual relationship between the laburnum tree and the goldfinch. Okay, the laburnum tree and the goldfinch. The tree is yellow, silent, and death-like, and is made alive by the bird and her young ones. Okay, The poem starts with a description of the laburnum tree whose top was still and silent. Its leaves had turned yellow and seeds had fallen down. It was a daytime in the month of September when the tree was standing still and without movement. Here, the winter season is approaching. That is why the leaves are turning yellow. Okay, now, and its all seeds have fallen down. Till the goldfinch comes with a twitching chirrup, a sudden a startlement at a branch end, then sleek as a lizard, and alert and abrupt, she enters the thickness and a machine starts up. Students, here we see the lifeless tree becomes alive by the arrival of Goldfinch. She came to feed her younger ones, who are on the thickness of the branch. The tree is a shelter. She arrives at the end of the branch with a chirping sound. Okay, she further moves to the other side of the branch with rapid and precautionary movements, like a lizard, because she had to save herself and her family as well. She was residing here because of some reason. What is that? I will discuss in the explanation. Okay, here we need to understand that very cautiously she enters inside the tree's topmost part because her family is there. All right, and her movement was sleek as lizard. It was very smooth as lizard. Okay, as soon as she arrives, her younger ones starts chirping like a machine and vibrating and flapping their wings. Now we see the death-like tree becomes alive and it trembles and shakes. Of chitterings and of tremor, of wings and trillings. The whole tree trembles and thrills. It is the machine, it is the engine of a family. She strokes it full. Then it flirts out to a branch end, showing her barred face identity mask. Students, as she comes inside the tree, the little ones, her family members, little birds, starts making concussion noise, okay, because they are happy to see their mother. They start flapping their wings, they start making sound. Okay, the whole tree trembles and thrills because of the movement of little ones. Okay, they are the engine of the family, they are the main part of the family. Without children, the family is going to be as quiet as the tree. All right, now mother goldfinch strokes it full. Goldfinch gives nutrition to her younger ones, then flirts out to a branch end, showing her barred face. Now after filling her children, she comes to the end of the branch again, because again she has to go out and get the food for them. All right, therefore very quietly she takes out, shows her barred face. Barred means the mark which is there on her head, okay, which makes her camouflage in the tree. Because of her appearance, she is camouflaged in the tree. Okay, so that face she shows it to the poet. All right, and that is her identity mask. Okay, then with airy, delicate whistle chirrup whisperings, she launches away towards the infinite, and the laburnum subsides to empty. Here, with very weird and strange way, she whistles, okay, she chirrups, she whispers, okay, and she launches away. She takes a flight away from the tree towards infinite, towards sky, okay, towards the sky she moves, and it is because she has to again come back to her family with food and other stuffs for them. And finally, the laburnum tree, which was awakened, which was enlivened because of the arrival of little bird, subsides to silence once again. Okay, this is about the poetry. At first we find the bird is quiet, sorry, the tree is, at first we find the tree is quiet, then bird arrives, okay, it brings the tree into life, okay, with movement, and finally it subsides to silence again. This shows changes are inevitable and changes are law of nature. Okay, without changes, nature cannot work. See, the message of the poetry. Here we find the tree, the laburnum tree symbolizes hardships of life. How? I will tell you. See, our life is not going to be smooth throughout our lifetime. Okay, there will be hardships, there will be ups and downs. We need to surmount all the hardships, just like this laburnum tree. Okay, laburnum tree was quiet. Okay, then there was movement, and then again it was silent. So this portion is you can consider to the hardship of the tree. And then again there was smooth life of the tree. Then we find change of law of nature. Okay, change is inevitable in each and every aspect, in each and every change is inevitable in each and every entity of nature. This is relatable to each and every human being's life, be it student, be it teacher, be it anyone in our society. Okay, because change is the law of nature. All right, it is not going to be smooth all the time. The life of a person is not going to be smooth all the time. There will be changes, and the same has been experienced by laburnum tree as well. Okay, therefore we find this is inevitable nature, okay, of this is inevitable, and we are going to abide with it. Surmount the obstacles of life. We should not give up because of the obstacles. Okay, today or tomorrow the problems are going to get over. All right, we need to surmount, we need to get over the obstacles that we encounter in our life. That is the message of the poetry. Let's move ahead. The very important portion, literary devices. Here, at first we find alliteration. Alliteration means repetition of a consonant sound at the beginning of word, at the beginning of two or more consecutive words. The instances of alliteration in the poem are as follows: September sunlight and tree trembles. S of September, S of sunlight. T of tree and T of tremble. Okay. Next is simile. Simile is comparison between two things using as or like. Sleek as a lizard with the help of as. Comparison is done with the help of as. Okay, therefore it is simile. Next is paradox. It is an apparently self-contradictory statement. Here, the tree is poisonous. Okay, laburnum tree is poisonous. Its root, bark, seeds, everything is poisonous, but it is saving the life of bird and her family. So it is paradox, which we find in the poetry. I hope it's clear. Let's move ahead. Next is metaphor, and it is an indirect comparison between two things. Generally, a quality is compared. Okay, now here let us find out the example. She enters the thickness and a machine starts up. The noise created by the movement of the bird is compared to the machine's noise. So here we find metaphor. Okay, next is personification. Personification, the attribution of personal nature characteristics to something non-living. Okay, here the whole tree trembles and thrills. Trembling and thrilling is the quality of human being which is given to tree. Okay, therefore it is personification. Last is transferred epithet, the figure of speech where the adverb is transferred to another noun. Here barred face and identity mask. Here we find transferred epithet. Okay, by this we have completed the poetry. If you have any questions, you can ask me anytime. Thank you, students.